So the Eighth Amendment is really fun. The Eighth Amendment, I don't think a lot of people even know that this is in the Eighth Amendment, but three main protections. The one that everyone knows, they don't know that it's in the Eighth Amendment. It's your protection against cruel and unusual punishment, your protection against excessive fines, and excessive bail amounts, okay? Yeah, but so what is cruel and unusual? That had to be defined. What is excessive and what is excessive? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who gets to decide what is excessive? Like a fine, for example. Like, if you tried to fine me $50, I would say that is excessive. I'll pay 10. You know what I mean? But I don't get to decide what is excessive or not. So broadly, the Supreme Court gets to outline the rules for what is cruel and unusual, but it does vary state by state, right? Like, for example, there has been, this is like the death penalty, okay? The death penalty gets litigated a lot. Then you have the governors, I think most recently, is it Oregon, maybe? Who the governor put a stay on executions because that they're just like working to get the death penalty not going. I don't follow that as much as I should, but the death penalty, is it cruel and unusual? I would say people really disagree on that. So that varies state by state, and people get to like each state gets to decide. And then like even specifically lethal injection, people debate on whether or not that is cruel and unusual. Solitary confinement in prison. These punishments are likely going to be happening to you while you are in prison. Okay, so whether that is cruel or unusual. And then the unusual aspect is just like, does it fit the crime? Like, if you are someone, like, that's why there are minimum and maximum sentences for certain crimes, okay? Because it's like pretty difficult to determine, you know, if one person somebody and another person somebody, and one person gets 48 days in jail and the other person gets sentenced to death, like that would be a little bit insane. So there are mins and maxes for like what can and cannot be put on there. Maximum, you'll hear like maximum life in prison or whatever, just based on the crime that you committed. So that's again why your protections in the Sixth Amendment are very important, because that's why you need to know what you're being charged with, and whether or not it's a good idea to take a plea deal. You know what I mean? Because if like the minimum sentence is like 15 years and you're getting offered the minimum and your case is pretty weak, you better take it, my guy, when you know that the maximum is life in prison. So that's a pretty big difference. And then with fines,